My name is Gaël. I'm from Le Wagon. I brought my t-shirt, badge 500 from Paris. And yeah, so this is basically who I am. And I think I have slides that it should be better if I can share with you so as not to lose myself. Yeah, you see the slides now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. At some point, I might ask some questions or things like that because it's kind of weird sometimes to maybe speak to yourself. So this is, as already mentioned, a learning series from here. We're going to talk about NFTs. So from pixels to the marketplace, joining the NFT journey. So I hope I can take you with me. I tried to time it for around 30 minutes. So it's going to be fast. And the deal I'm proposing you is that I try to show you a couple of things. You'll see it's very simple, nothing complicated really. And then I can write down some questions. If you still have some questions in like around 10 days, I can take some more questions in the Slack of Le Wagon. And maybe I'll just answer to you guys and give you some additional information. For some questions that might take some time, I'd rather we take it outside and we spend some more time to clear any questions. So just don't hesitate. Just I try to be on point for this topic. Okay. So my socials for whom junior developers. This is very important for me because I'm really feel like I'm going to be a junior developer my whole life. I'm doing part development, part product management, and I'm constantly learning new things. So I feel like I'm going to be a white belt all my life. So don't be scared because I'm scared myself of a lot of things that are new, especially when you come into the blockchain / crypto / NFT / Web3 / metaverse / whatever. Things change all the time. I have slides in the end. Everything that we're going to do tonight works tonight, but might not work tomorrow because the ecosystem is changing really fast. And all the code, all the frameworks, all the tools have changed multiple times. And so you're kind of paying for your sanity. But this is what you get when you enter into the crypto sphere, I would say. So who am I? Why am I here? And why are you here? Okay. I wanted to have this slide just to kind of focus and make sure that I don't lose you. You don't lose me. And we both know why we are here. So as I mentioned, Gaël, badge 500. I'm here because I really love crypto. I love NFTs, and I love tinkering with things. I'm not an expert. I just take both two things that work and I try to connect them and see what happens. Sometimes there are sparks. Sometimes there are no sparks, but I try to do my best. And at the beginning, I will also present a little funny story that I had when I won a hackathon, thanks to some of the tools I'm going to show you later. Okay, so why I'm here, just to show you how you can create an NFT. So you can take some art, create some art, or take some art that you have, add some information to it with metadata or things like that. Then once you have the art, you have to put it into the blockchain. So we're going to focus on Solana tonight because it's cheap, fast, and easy. It's really built for developers. We can talk about Ethereum and maybe other blockchains as well. But for tonight, it's going to be focused on Solana, again, because it's a good way to start because it's very fast, cheap, efficient, and very easy tools for developers. So that's why I'm here. And why are you here? So you can be here to see how you can do things end to end, kind of in a very simple way. And so to get some tips on starting. Again, we only have 1 hour, so I won't go into too much detail. So if you want more details, ask me later at the end of the call, or or Slack or on socials. But if you're here for Ethereum, we're not going to cover Ethereum tonight. If you're here for how to make a project successful, quote unquote, I will not talk about how to build a team, how to have marketers, how to engage people on Discord or Twitter or things like that. This is really beyond the scope. Okay, so this is just purely on the technical part of things. Okay. So this is for why are you here? I hope I haven't lost too many people yet, but this is kind of the preview. So a little bit about a little funny story that happened to me last summer in August. So the title of this slide is How to Play the Hackathon Game. Why? Last summer in August, I was in Tenerife with some friends, and instead of enjoying surfing, I was browsing the internet, as you would say in the 90s. And I saw an ad on the Brave browser for a hackathon for Solana. So I joined, and the first step in a hackathon is to choose a team or choose a project. I didn't have any team or any project, so I looked at team that already existed with projects. And if you see on the top of the screen, there's kind of a little icon with the Futurama. The creator of The Simpsons, he made Futurama or something like that. And there's this funny picture. And so some guy had this funny picture. I thought it was funny. I didn't know any better. So I contacted him saying exactly that. I don't know anyone here, but your picture seemed funny. What are you doing? And we hit it off. He was building a ticketing system for events. So instead of just buying and selling your tickets, you can do it with NFTs on the blockchain and blah blah blah. Okay, so I thought it was a cool project, and I asked him if I could join. He said yes, and so they went on to building, but we didn't have too much communication because they already had a team existing, and so we just kind of talk a few minutes here and there. I didn't have anything to do for a long time, and then like a few days before the cutoff, he told me, hey, basically we kind of need the NFTs right now. Okay, so I in one day or one night, I just took the image generator that I'm going to show you. I generated some images with Midjourney, and I added, as I said, I just plug and play things. I added another piece of code to generate QR code, and I put some data on the QR code, some NFT data as well, some images generated, and I just transferred that to them. We hacked it away, so I gave them a wallet, they put it into the app, they demoed it, and we won the hackathon. So basically it was just a big night of work, and just winning a hackathon without knowing people and just choosing at random a team. So this is just a cool thing that can happen in the hackathon world. So I encourage everyone to join hackathons, because it's quite easy. In my experience, it was easier than I expected to win. And as my mom used to say in a depressive way, you cannot always lose in life. Sometimes you win too. Okay, so you might learn some things, you might meet cool people, and also show some skills or learn some skills. Okay, I used a little bit more time than I thought, but let's get to the meat of it. Okay, so remember what we said. If we want to make NFTs, we need art, then we need to put them on the blockchain, and then we need also to have a store to deploy them and to have users buy or mint our NFTs. Okay, so first let's talk about the art. I gave you a little bit of an example here of what you can do in Midjourney. The prompt is pool party in the style of a very cool artist, Kim Jong-gi. So unfortunately, his style was absorbed by Midjourney. So they are concerned about ethics and things like that. But you can generate really cool arts with Midjourney. You can also be an artist yourself. With code, you can do some generative art. You can hire designers on some website that I showed, like Dribble, Fiverr, everything. So there's a lot of avenues to get art or to make art that you can do yourself, okay? And if you think about art in the context of NFTs, it's mainly to have a visual representation of some information that will be then stored in the blockchain, okay? So you need the art, but you need also some data associated with it, okay? But in terms of art, the most popular type of NFTs was the generative profile pictures NFTs, okay? And this is what we're gonna focus on. So there's a guy on YouTube called Hashlips, and he's a YouTuber, he's a coder, and he built an art engine, okay? Very simple thing. You just take different layers and you combine them. So as you can see, what I showed on this slide is that you have a layer 1, which is a background. You have a layer 2, which is a pedestal. A layer 3, which is a kind of Lego brick layer. And the layer 4, which is a kind of fragment, a half of a heart, okay? So what you do is you make different colors, and it's really, you have to think about it in terms of layers on Photoshop. You just add these layers with different colors, different shape, and then you combine them. This is a very simple example. When I worked on different NFTs project, there was some back and forth with artists, because sometimes when you generate them, for example, when you do characters, you do hearts, you do eyes, you do things like that, they don't exactly fit. So you have to go some back and forth between the generation. But that's basically what you do. You just combine layers with code, okay? So this is how it is. I show you here in VS Code, it's a very simple example. Once you have the project cloned. So here in the slides, you have the links to the GitHub, to the YouTube tutorial of this guy. And I think I have some little project open that can show you how to do it. Yes, I should have it. So let me just pull it, clear that. Okay. Okay, so I think this one should be good. Okay, so once you have cloned it, you have done the install that you need to do. What else is there? You go into the config file, okay, and you just look at a few things that are important to us. So this generator is cool because it can work on Solana and also on Ethereum, but they're just different settings, okay? I will not go into too many details, but here you have a name, so you can change it to whatever. So anything you like. Here you have a description, so whatever again, okay? This base URI, it's for Ethereum. You don't need it for Solana. And then you have some metadata, okay? This metadata, to put it here, you don't really need to put it here, but you can leave it there just because it's an old version. But basically what you have is that you have the symbol for your NFT. So if it's whatever, I might say WE, for example. The seller basis fee points is the royalties that you will get, okay? So 1,000 is 10%. I don't know what the maximum is, maybe it's 25% or something like that, but I don't know, put between 1% or 10%, depending on what you want. But this is basically the meat of your income long-term once the project gets going. The URL, whatever you want. The address, this is the public key of your wallet. Obviously, don't put private keys or share it with anyone, except if it's for test, things like that. And the share. So you can put 4 wallets, I think, and put the total. So if it's 4 creators, you might say 25%, 25%, 25%, blah, blah, blah. Or 1 creator, 100%. Okay, this is just the config. And then you have the layers, okay? So how many NFTs you want? Here I put 9, so it can go fast. You have some layers. Here I have background, pedestal, heart, and fragment, okay? So I have this here, layers, background. I have blue, red, things like that, fragment here. etc. So you can play with it. Obviously, if you put the background on first, then it will, on last, it will hide everything, and vice versa. So obviously, when I tried the last time, I made some mistakes, but you try it, you build again and again until you get it right. And in the end, you also have the format of the images. So depending on the base art that you have, you might have to change the width and the height. And there are some more configuration that you can do, but we have no time for that tonight. The README of the project is quite cool. He's put a lot of work into it, so you can play with it to your heart's content. And also, when you clone the project, he gives you some art, so you can use the art to play with it. And I think that in the basic art, you're making some eyes. It's quite cool. And then to execute it, you just have to run node index.js, and it creates some editions. Okay. In Solana, you start from 0. So I want 9 NFTs, and you go from 0 to 8. Okay. The DNA is the unique. The unique combination of the attributes. Okay, if I wanted to have maybe more of them, it will go and just show me that some DNA have been already used. Okay, it's just combining, and to know how many combination you can do with the number of attributes and the number of different attributes in each layer. You have to do some, I think it's factorial or something like that. You see, you have these messages, DNA exists, okay? So this is what's happening. And you see, you have a build project here, okay? So you have different builds here that I made. I renamed them to index them, but you have a build, and you can see the images that were created, okay? From my layers, I combine all of them, and I get the images. I also get some metadata. So you see the name, whatever, and the number, the symbol, the description, seller basis fee, URL, and the attributes. Okay, so all these attributes is what the collectors will look at in terms of maybe some special rarity and things like that. Okay, and this will then be indexed in the marketplaces like OpenSea or Magic Eden. Okay. And the file that is associated. As I was saying, there was a lot of things that evolved. And so one of the things that evolved is that now you need a collection image and a collection JSON, okay? And I don't have it, they're not automatically generated here. So I did it by hand because things evolve, but you can obviously add it to the generation. It's not that complicated. So now we have built some art. Is it okay with you, or is there anything that I missed at some point, or that is confusing maybe? Okay, I'll say that. I take that as a no. Maybe you write something in the comment if something is not clear. But this is now you have the art. Okay, so you have a build example. Now the blockchain. Okay. So what do you need for the blockchain? You need a way to interact with the blockchain first. Then you need to have a wallet because you need to use this wallet to generate the transactions, mint the NFTs, etc., etc. And you need to have some currency in the wallet because nothing is free in life. Especially in the crypto world. Okay, so this is what we need to do now. Okay, the interface is going to be the Solana CLI. Honestly, the documentation is really good, so you can just follow the link. It will take you to the CLI install. You install it, and then you can just check that you have the correct version, and everything is installed. Okay, so if I do it, okay, I can have, wait, I wasn't showing. So on my side, if I clear this Solana version, okay, I have my Solana CLI working. Okay. then you need to create a wallet and put some Sol in it. Again, in Solana, you have some good documentation. I will actually open it because there are some interesting things here. So you have the different commands to create a wallet, okay? Some things that are important is that you have different ways to create wallets, and these ways are more or less complicated and more or less secure. Okay, so for the tutorials, what we do is we use the easiest system. We create a file system wallet. Okay, but if you want to be extra cautious, you might use Ledger, have other things. Okay, so you have different options listed in docs. Here, we're just going to do the simplest version. Okay. So what we can do is, I think I can just have some. Yeah, I think I have this one here in the G2. Yes. Okay. So here I can just have this. So the command is Solana -keygen new and then out file, and it gives you a test wallet. Okay. Then you can have a passphrase or not, and it gives you a key pair. Okay. I name it test wallet, and you have a public key that you can share, and you also have a seed phrase. Okay. So basically, you save all of it in a safe place, and you never share it you never show the seed phrase or the private key to anyone. Okay. Obviously, what I'm showing to you is just for testing, and then after I need to trash that wallet, otherwise I'm in big trouble. Here also, the content is the private key. Okay, and so all this, you copy all of it, and this is what you will then put into your Phantom wallet later on when you're in the browser, if you want to add this wallet to your browser to mint or to do things like that. Okay. So this is how you create a wallet, and as you see, it's quite simple. You have just one command to do it. Then you need to have some Sol. Okay, so how do you get some Sol? You have two ways to do it. The easiest way is you take your public key that I just created, and you go to this solfaucet.com. And in the DevNet, it should give you some NFTs, not some NFT, but some Solana. Okay, you see here I have an error to airdrop the fund. So here this method didn't work. So you have a backup, which is to airdrop it yourself. So you have the command here, Solana airdrop 1, and then you put the amount that you want. Okay, so I don't know if I can do it live. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let me just get. Okay, I have this here. Airdrop 1. Bam. Where is, yes, it's this one. Okay, so let's see together if it works. So I do Solana airdrop 1. The address is the address that I just got here, and I put that I want the URL to be in the DevNet of Solana. Okay, I request an airdrop of 1 Sol. The signature of the transaction is here, so you can always have that, and then you know that you have 1 Sol there. Okay, so I guess I can verify that information. If I want to do it, I can go into Sol scan, and just the ribbon is killing me. Yes, okay. And I can go into the DevNet, put the signature, and just verify the transaction. Okay. So the practice when you're on the blockchain is always to verify your transaction and see things like that to see if it works. It might take some time. I'm on DevNet, but that's basically the process. Okay, I'll come back to it later if it has loaded. So you then have some wallet, some Sol in your wallet. Then it's the moment when you can check your configuration. So you have the way to check the configuration is here is Solana config. Now you have the help. That's not exactly it. It's Solana config get, of course. Get. Okay. So what do I get as information when I do Solana config get? I know that I have a configuration file coming from my installation. There's the RPC, the remote procedure call URL. So this is where you go to get information to and from the blockchain. This is the WebSocket associated, and the key pair path. This is what I created before, and I put it as a file wallet with this path, okay? This is confirmed. The RPC URL, you see, it's an Alchemy URL. I didn't just put the devnet because I wanted it to be fast, okay? So the idea for me is really to go as fast as possible. And here, this is the first moment where you have a choice, okay? You can go with the devnet or you can use Alchemy. So basically, I use Alchemy because it's really cheap and it works well. So this is the URL. I have my dashboard in Alchemy. You create your own account. It's free, and you see I have a lot of API keys, and it's not costing me anything. So far, zero fiat currency was spent on this. Okay. You also have QuickNode, which is a very good alternative as well. It's a little bit more expensive. Okay, the free tier is not as generous as with Alchemy. Okay, so you have your config. Now we can use the candy machine. So to give you an overview of where we are, we have some art. We have a way to interact with the Solana blockchain, and we are on the devnet, so we can test. It won't cost us anything. And now we want to use the little Sol that we have in our wallet to interact with the blockchain and create some NFTs. So how do we do that? There's a company called Metaplex that creates the tool, the candy machine. It's a very, very cool tool. So it's been a while since I've seen a candy machine like that in the wild, but it's the same idea. If you put a coin in the machine and it gives you some NFTs back or some candy back, okay? And you don't know which one you're gonna get. It's a little bit at random. And so they took this mechanism and they allow you to create NFTs with it. So you have this installation. The documents look really nice, but for Solana, I didn't have a lot of issues, but with Candy Machine and with Metaplex in general, things progress extremely fast. So you really have to make sure that you follow the docs all the time. Okay, otherwise you really gonna have things that are blocked at some point, that are bugged or things like that. So you have to invest in reading the docs and going into the Discord and things like that. Okay, so here we are with the Candy Machine. So you do the install, and then you can just run sugar to verify that you can run it. So I don't know which terminal I can use. Yes, this one. If I do sugar, I see all these commands, so I know that I have sugar working. Okay, it's a CLI version, blah, 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 and I have a lot of commands linked to what I want to do, okay? Collection, configuration, deploy, all of that, all the fun that we're gonna see in a few seconds. So for that, you want to create NFTs, but you need the art. So you're gonna take the assets that we created. We had a build from the Hashlibs art engine, and we're gonna rename the folder assets, okay? And so I'm gonna just take what I had and just transfer it. It's gonna be faster this way. Yes. Okay, am I there? Yes. Okay, so here I just took an old example of a build folder that I had. And so I have my assets here, and I put together the JSON and the folder, okay? They were separated in different folders. I put them together, okay? So far, not too much work. In the end, what I added is to have a collection JSON and a collection image, okay? The JSON with the collection is a little bit shorter. You have things explained in the Metaplex documentation. I give you the link in the presentation, okay? So it's a bit tricky when you don't know, but when you have the links, it's quite easy to manage, okay? So quite simple. You have sugar and you have some assets. Then you can create a configuration for your candy machine, okay? So there are different ways to do it, but the easiest way is to do a sugar config create. So I will just run that and see what we have, okay? Sugar config create. Okay, let me just clear my terminal. Sugar config create. And you see, it will ask you a little bit of questions, and you will answer, and you will create your candy machine accordingly. They found 98 files. Okay, is this how many NFTs? Yes. The symbol is RB. Is it what you want? Yes. You can verify. 1,000. Yes. The sequential mint index. You say no. Why? Because otherwise the first mint will be 0, then 1, then 2. Okay, so you want something to be more random, so people cannot anticipate what the mint will be. Okay, how many creators? 1. What's the creator wallet? I think I have it. Yes, we're gonna use this one. The royalty percentage share is the total must be 100. So we'll go for 100. Do you want some hidden settings? We're not going to go into that. And the upload method. So now we need to put our assets somewhere to be uploaded. So you have different choices. The easiest choice is to go with bundler. I will not go into the different details of anything, but if you choose bundler, it will take some of your souls from your wallet and pay for the storage of your assets on bundler. Okay, for the devnet, it stays for a few days, maybe a week, and I think that when you're on mainnet, it stays forever, or at least it should. But you can look into it in the documentation. So I choose bundler. Do you want your NFTs to remain mutable? So do you want to be able to change them later? They highly recommend you choose yes. You can go for yes. And now it's saving a config file. Okay, so you have created now a config file. Basically, it says you're creating NFTs. You have 90 NFTs. The symbol is RB, is what I had before. The fees, what's the creator, the upload method is bundler, and etc. etc. What is really important is here you have something called guards, and the value is null. So I think I have it somewhere. I don't know if it's there or later. Yes, you have some guards. Is the guard later? Well, maybe it's coming later. I don't know. But the guards is what is protecting the mint of your NFTs. So there are different type of guards, but basically you now have configured an open candy machine. Anyone can take anything. And the guards will be the block that you will add. So for example, the first block will be to pay. So you add a guard of sole payment to say how much it will cost to mint one of your NFTs. Another guard is the start date. With the start date, there is an end date as well. So if they try to mint before, they will be blocked. Also, they have a system called a bot tax. So when there are bots trying to mint, they will block, and they will even make the wallet associated to the bot pay a little SOL tax. Okay, so they have a lot of things like that. Many guards, and you can look into it. So this is for the guards. I think I have some config that I can add, probably in the other one. Yeah, I think my config is there. So everything that's below guards, I can just add like this. Okay, so I think I have almost everything being the same. Yes. Well, anyway, let's try. So I replace my config here, and I just need to change, because this is what I have from a previous test. So I'm just gonna re-add the address. Okay, I keep a start date in the past, and the payment of 0.01 and upload method bundler. Okay, so now that you have the config created, I think you can start uploading. Is it what I have to do? So yes, we can start uploading. Let's see if it works. I do sugar upload. Okay, so you see, I'm now uploading the image files into Bundler. Okay, now all my assets have been uploaded, 99, because there's also the collection pair. And you see the creator field is deprecated, okay? Because as I mentioned, we already have it there, but the candy machine is dealing with it in another place. But deprecation doesn't mean that it's really dangerous now, so you can keep it. Okay, so you have uploaded your data with Bundler, your assets, your images, and your JSON. So you have the upload is successful. Now you have to deploy into the blockchain. Okay, so you do a little sugar deploy, and then we'll see if it works. Okay. Okay, it can be sometimes a bit long, depending on. Okay, well, this time it was quite fast. So what you have now is you have a collection mint ID, a candy machine ID, and you have your no, that's all. So those two information, you keep them because you will use them later for your storefront. Okay. You have now deployed your NFT collection, and you have a candy machine ID that will be referenced for the future transactions. Okay, so congratulations, we're going quite fast. We still have 20 minutes. I think we can do it. You can check your candy machine ID in the DevNet. It was taking some time before, so I will not do it. Or maybe I can try. Maybe I can try. Here, yes, I had 4. Here I'm on the DevNet. Can they find my candy machine? Well, okay. I know why tonight Solscan is not with me, but anyway, you have a way to try to get it. Okay, so now let's go back to business. You have uploaded your assets with Bundler. You have deployed your candy machine. Now what you can try to do is to mint. Okay, you can mint with the command line, and you just type sugar mint. It's gonna check the candy machine, the ID that you had before, and it's gonna mint. Okay, so you have minting to this wallet a first NFT. Okay, so this is now successful. You have minted a first NFT. So if Solscan was working tonight, I could show you the NFT, but right now, unfortunately, you're gonna have to believe me. So we have minted our first NFT. So congratulations. That's the first step. However, this is not enough. Why isn't it enough? Because we have minted, but it was a free mint, okay? Because now the candy machine is configured with just the original config file, and we need to add the guard that will protect it in terms of start date, in terms of payment, okay? And then you can do the same process with any further guards that you want to add, okay? So the command is sugar guard add, and now it's checking your candy machine and adding the guard, okay? So now your candy machine is wrapped with this guard. I keep all the information just in case I need them later, okay? But now for the subsequent mint, it will be, you will need to pay for that, and it will need to be after the start date that I put, okay? So when you go into some NFTs and you go into the website and you see, okay, the mint is starting in 3 hours, something like that, they have this type of guard in place. Okay, so this is for adding the guard. Here, I put the link to all the guards that you can add, because you can really do some exotic things that are quite cool with the guards. Now you need the store, okay? So the store is the part that changes the most, okay? Because it's at the end of the process, and so all the connectors must work well in terms of connecting to your wallet in your browser or in your phone, checking requesting the correct blockchain environment in the correct way to get the right information. Everything must work well for your store to work well. So in the docs of Metaplex, they give you links to the UI. I've never seen this UI work. So you always have to go into the Discord, tinker with it yourself. But you can make it work. It's not that hard, but it will cost a little bit in terms of sanity, I will say, at least for me. So the stores are the one that I showed you at the beginning, okay? And so if we go into here, this is what we have. So I deployed it 3-way, okay? I have first real bricks, which is deployed on the main net, okay? So when you mint, you will pay real sol, okay? Here, if you want to play for free, I deployed solo bricks, so you can put your Phantom wallet or yeah, just use Phantom. I think it's better. You go to this URL and you can mint from home and get your NFTs on the DevNet. And here I launched a little server here so that it can work on my side. Okay, this is the most basic version. Okay, of the website. Okay, so if is it still working? Yes. So if I do mint here a tutorial NFT, will it work? Yes. It opens my Phantom wallet. So of course, I need to get my password. I unlock it. I confirm. And here you see mint successful. Okay. And here you have the transaction. Okay. So Explorer.Solana is working. SolScan is not, but you have all the information related to the transaction. And if I go back, I think that's here. I've been testing a little bit, but here you have your different NFTs that I collected. So I don't know if this one is the last one or if it was another one, because I made a few tests, but this is what I have, okay? So it was, before it was 5 already minted, now it's 6 already minted. Why doesn't it reflect the fact that I only minted 1 as a testing? Is because I configured this website with another environment variables, okay? So if I show you how it works. think I have it in the slides. Yes. So first, you need to get a solid base. There's different people working in Metaplex that do some meeting UIs. Then they don't maintain it really well. Things are bugged. If you get the Solana dApps project, you see there's a lot of stars, a lot of forks. So it's not too bad for starting, and you have wallets and things like that. Okay, it's a next project. It's looking quite good for my taste, at least. Okay. Once you get it, there's a few installs that are specific. Okay, so if you look at it, some npm installs that are specific is related to the Metaplex Foundation. So they do the framework, and not only the basic Metaplex toolbox, but also if you see here, there's /Yumi. Yumi is the new framework that Metaplex released. When I say that things change constantly, this is one of the latest developments, and they have this whole framework that you can now use for the store. The way to use, we use Sugar because it's quite simple, but you can also do Yumi to create your candy machine and configure it in a way more precise way than the basic stuff that we did now. Okay, so just if you see Yumi, it's the new way to do it. So you do this install, and then you create an environment file. I think I have, yes. So in your environment file, what do you need? You need the next public RPC, so your remote procedure call. So this RPC is what you get from Alchemy, from QuickNode, or from wherever. The public candy machine that you saved from before, and the treasury, so your public wallet address. Okay, this is what you put in your environment file. Just a note on RPCs. First time I tried to put mainnet beta from Solana, it didn't work. You need your own RPC, you cannot use that one. And also it's going to be really fast, so it's free, so use QuickNode or RPC or Alchemy or whatever, but having your own RPC is good in my experience. Modify only what you need, which means you go into the source, you go into the components, and you have a request airdrop, okay, which is the basic function, one of the basic components that was in this next project, and you can modify it and duplicate it to create a candy mint, okay? Of course, if you add that, you need to go into your views, go into home, index, and add it also in your views, okay? So this is what I have, I think, here, yes. Okay, so I will try not to show you the end variable, but it's quite here. Yes, end variable is here. Candy mint was copy pasted from the request airdrop file here. Okay, and here I have my views and the home index where I added what I needed. Okay, I think the candy mint is added here, and now I just went below to add the component here. Okay, to the view. Now just to look at what we have in terms of imports. So then I changed many things here. So you need the correct import. So I grouped them. So it's better to look at them. So there are some imports related to React, of course. Then the first imports related to Solana. Third line, you have the wallet adapter, so it connects to your Phantom wallet. Notify for the notification, so when the mint is complete or failing, you have a notification. Then there is encoding. This is helping you get the balance of the user. And then you have some import from Metaplex, okay? Token metadata, the toolbox, and then you have all the import from the candy machine. Fetch candy machine to get the candy machine. Mint v2, so this is what we're going to use when you click the button. It's going to call that the mint version 2, and then you have the candy guard, the candy machine, things like that. And in the end, you also have the import required for Yumi, okay, for the new framework. So you generate a signer, you create a transaction, you check the public key, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the import that you add. And then at first you access your environment variable. Okay, so this is what you created. you create your endpoint, your candy machine address, and your treasury address. And then you modify the export that was for the request airdrop, and you call it candy mint, and you add something. Okay, first you create an instance of Yumi with this create Yumi. Okay, and it's going to take access the candy machine plugins and Metaplex metadata to interact. And then after you check the availability of the candy machine and can you mint and things like that. And you see you have to calculate the number of NFTs remaining, and then you have to check for the candy guard what is the price or things like that. Okay, so this is the modification that were added. Then you have the on-click function. So when you click on the button to mint an NFT, you have that. And if there's a wallet, if it doesn't exist, there's no connection. So you just show it. There's a little notification. If it's possible, you fetch the candy machine, you get it, you get the candy machine, the guard, and then you try to implement the mint. Okay, so the requisite is there a wallet connected? Can we get the candy machine? Can we get the guards? Then you add the minting process. Okay, so you generate a signer, you build a transaction, you add a compute unit limit for it not to fail, and then you call the mint v2 with some parameters. Okay, then you wait for the transaction, and once it's confirmed, you have this little notification to notify the user that the mint is successful. Okay, so this is what you have here in this candy mint. Okay, so all the imports are there. You have the Yumi in that function component, and then you have the retrieve availability. You have the fetch of the candy guards, and then you have it's all the guards. See if there are NFT remaining. You click to mint. You call the mint, and then there is the success, and then you reset the candy machine. You get what you need, and you here have the info that is shown on screen with the button, everything, just the text of the button. Okay, so this is basically just touching these two files, creating one file and touching candy mint, and then modifying in the view of the home, and this is it. And you see you have around 200 lines of codes, but it's really not 200 lines of codes, because you see there are some comments here. It's written like this. So with less than 200 lines of codes, you can make it work. So I think it's quite good. And then if you want to really deploy it, I get mad personally at a lot of tutorials because things work well in the local machine. You know, it's the famous developer joke of saying, hey, it works on my machine. Yes, but when you go into production, it's not going to run on your machine, is it? So you have two choices, two main choices, I would say. You have Netlify and you have Versal as its next project. Netlify for me is like Alchemy. You have a bigger free tier. It's fast, it's efficient, and it's way cheaper. I mean, it's still free for multiple websites, so I will advise for that. But if you go for Versal, I think it's cool as well. Okay, so you get a domain, you deploy with GitHub, you link things, you make sure that you don't have some private keys information or your RPC that is shown anywhere else. You go into your site config. In the env variable, you add the env variable that you need, and then you can deploy and have your website. If you want to switch from mainnet to devnet or vice versa, you go into your Solana config when you create your candy machine, and this is basically it. Okay, and then you can have your website that is deployed like I have with the real bricks is deployed on Netlify. Okay. One little things, you have the slides, but there's a lot of rapid changes and evolution all the time. So if your code break after a little while, don't be surprised. Don't lose hope. Go into the discords of people, ask people on Twitter, whatever. There will be someone to help you. You will need a lot of time and sanity, but you will find the information for that. Here you have some documentation. And I wanted to have just one slide for 1 minute about ethics for noobs, because when we talk about crypto, NFTs, we need to have 1 minute about ethics. So 3 things: scams, your team, and the third is a Twitter tweet that I really loved, which is long-term memes with long-term people. So scams. How do you know if what you're working on is a scam or not? Put yourself in the shoes of the end users. If you think that in 6 months they will think it's a scam, then it is a scam. And you draw the line. I would say if someone tells you, hey, we're going to create a project and try to build a community, see how things go. You see if there are real plans after the initial mint or not, and things like that. So sometimes it's shady, and a lot of people, like I've been contacted with a lot of people who really were not afraid to say, hey, we're just going to cash in and just go to the Caribbean. So you have to decide if you want to participate in that or not. But the problem is that with cash, it's really easy to do a bank robbery and run away. But with the blockchain, everything is noted, so it's hard. So if you don't have ethics in terms of your values, think about it, it's really hard to get away with it if people really look for you. Okay, so this is the first thing. And when you do something bad in terms of ethics, everything can go according to plan for 10 years, and then after 10 years, someone can catch you, and you'll be a different person. That would be bad. So this is in terms of scam and choosing who you work with. Also with your team, greed and envy are dangerous. So if you work in crypto and NFT projects, some people might contact people on your teams, and they can make mistakes that can jeopardize your project. I have some horror stories from friends of mine. It's really easy to get hacked in a Discord account or to expose your wallet. Even people who are really savvy, it can happen to them. So be careful. A good insight is whenever people are rushing you, then it's a bad sign. And then long-term memes with long-term people. You might have some projects that are really cool, but the best way, whether in Web3 or anywhere, is really to find people that you want to work long-term with. So try to look for that. I think it's 1 hour, so I have 30 minutes more than I thought, but that's the end for me.